Oh, hello everyone. Good afternoon. It is afternoon. It is Sunday. The game is incredibly loud in my ears, so I'm going to turn that down. $50 works. I'm just going to bump the volume on stream again. Right. Ooh, what's this? I've got to... Bear with me. Good to see Streamlabs still peppers you with pointless notifications telling me that it's not too late to dress up, apparently. That's an interesting approach from Streamlabs. So what are we doing here? I'm playing Talos Principle, which I think I've recently decided, or I guess not decided, but realised. I think I've... Well, first of all, I've realised the gain is up too high on my microphone, so let's turn that down. But I think I've finally realised that Talos Principle, any iteration, be it the original or the Reawakened version here, which is the remaster, or It is a remaster, but it was remade in Unreal 5, so I don't know if that means they remade it from the ground up or what, but anyway. I've come to realise that I think it is my favourite game of all time. Fallout 3 has been what I've considered to be my favourite game of all time since I first played it back in 2008. So sort of having that realisation this week that something may have finally knocked Fallout 3 off the top is, you know, is pretty big for me. As someone who completely surrounds their life with video games. It's pretty interesting. At least for me, anyway. You know, nearly 17 years since Fallout 3. I think Fallout 3 came out in November. November 2008. Let's have a look. Interesting. There's going to be a lot of rambling in this, but released in PAL regions on October 31st. So, funnily enough, almost 17 years to the day is when I've come to play something or realise that I think something is actually my favourite over Fallout 3, which is, at least in my personal life, in my mind, that is incredible. So, but Talos Principle, I've played and finished the main, you know, the main game without the DLC a few times now. I've recently finished it this week, or over the last couple of weeks, as I'm finally gearing myself up to play Talos Principle 2, which I'll probably do over the Christmas period whilst I'm off work. That will be very, very exciting. As that's, even though it's already out, it's been my most anticipated game ever since it was announced. But the Road to Gehenna DLC, I did play, I think it was actually the last time I was knocking around on Twitch. I was in the middle of playing Road to Gehenna around, probably around August last year. I have a vague memory of playing Road to Gehenna on Twitch. Only for like an hour and a half or so. And it was around that point that I'd been doing streaming and videos and stuff quite regularly, and that was yet another falling off point. And I think that contributed to me falling off of the Road to Gehenna DLC. And then I never picked it back up. So when I picked up the remaster, the Talos Principle Reawakened, a few weeks ago, or a couple of weeks ago, whenever it was, I decided, right, I'm playing it again. I adore this game. And for anyone who has played the Talos Principle but hasn't played the remaster, it is beautiful. It looks amazing. As you can see, some of the... all of this in the background is in engine. So, you know, it looks very, very good. It looks the part. And the very small addition of developer commentary has sort of elevated the game. Listening to the developers talk about this game whilst playing it is just... has made it so special. And I think more games should do that, where they incorporate developer commentary within your playthrough of the game, because they've dotted things like their bits of commentary around each level as you're playing through, so they're actually talking about relevant things that you are doing at that moment. And it's really interesting and has just made it that little bit more special. So I do highly recommend this version of the game. You got the main game, Talos Principle. You got the Road to Gehenna DLC, which I'm currently doing, and I'm hopefully nearly at the end of. And then they added In the Beginning, which I'm really looking forward to doing, because that hopefully expands even more on the story of Alexandra Drennan, who is the main sort of, I think she's like the project lead on the AI. If you don't know the story, I won't go into it. But let's get into the game. So, when I played Road... oh, sorry, let me just adjust something. There we go. When I played Road to Gehenna, which is this DLC, before I got up to World 3. There's 4 worlds, and I got up to World 3. There's a piece of developer commentary. That's what it looks like in game. Yeah, I got up to World 3, and that's when I fell off, and I was like halfway through doing World 3. I finished World 3 late last night. So from here on, this is all completely fresh to me. This is the first time I've seen brand new... sorry about the crunching, I'm eating a polo. This is the first time I've seen something brand new in the Talos Principle for some years now. It's very exciting. But this is what I think is considered the Star World. This is collecting sigils, so what I'm actually going to do is drop back out. Yeah, so this is where I'm up to. I've only got one world left to do, which is World 4. I've never seen World 4. I've never been in there. Things are starting to fall apart. And I have rescued nearly all of the messengers. This has been like a 100% playthrough as well. I'm doing all of the puzzles. I mean, you have to do all the puzzles in the DLC. I'm doing all the puzzles. Collecting all the stars, finding all the Easter eggs. So I have been following a guide right up until the point where it wasn't new to me. So right up to World 3. But now I'm on World 4. I won't be following a guide until I finish the actual puzzles. Then I will be following a guide to understand where are the stars. Not necessarily how to do them. And are there any Easter eggs to find. So in World 4, we do sadly have an infamous rewind puzzle, which they're my least favourite. I think they're the least favourite of a lot of people. And it's not necessarily that I dislike them, they're really hard. They require you to think in a certain way, and I really struggle with that. So here we go then, World 4. Yeah, things are really falling apart. I don't know how this game's going to perform while streaming. I assume it's going to be... fucking hell, it's so dark. I can't see anything on my... I can just about see on my second monitor. But I can't see a thing on my primary monitor that I'm actually playing this on. Wow. It's so dark. checking the nooks and crannies. Make sure there's no... Seems to be no developer commentary in the World 4 hub, whereas there was in all the other 3. And each of the worlds 1 to 3 are themed on the 3 main worlds from the main game. So Roman, Egyptian, and medieval Britain. Whereas this seems more themed around the Messenger Islands from the primary game. So let's have a look. But yeah, I say I'm not entirely sure how the game's going to perform because while streaming anyway, because I've got ray tracing turned on, everything is maxed out, so kind of assuming it'll be fine, but you never know. Let's just turn the game down a little bit more. Without creative, independently thinking and judging personalities, the upward development of society is as unthinkable as the development of the individual personality without the nourishing soil of the community. So Einstein did that say. Yeah. So the game, if you're unfamiliar with the game, it is a puzzle game, but it draws heavily. It's philosophical. It's got a sort of religious, I was going to say religious undertone. It's not really an undertone, it's very much there. Would the correct phrase be omnipresent? I'm not sure. I don't want to incorrectly use words. And despite this arguably being my favourite game of all time, I'm not going to pretend that I understand everything it's trying to tell me. I'm not a philosopher. I'm not a philosophy student. I don't know anything about philosophy, really. I find it very interesting, but that doesn't mean I could sit and talk about it. But this was one of the first games, and really one of the only games I've ever played that really, really made me sit and think. This is interesting. The fact that it seems to be allowing me to jump here. I wonder if we can get up there at some point with a... I was going to say a companion queue, but that's Portal. Whoops, I didn't mean to do it. Step back a little bit. Oh yeah, there's 100% there is going to be something up there. This game is... So it's made by Crow Team, who made Serious Sam. If you're not familiar with this game, but you are familiar with what Serious Sam is, it's absolutely packed full of secrets and Easter eggs. So these little prompts you see for... Oh, shit. For, like, press space to jump here, like that. You do get those prompts in areas where you wouldn't... Where there isn't anything, that feel a bit more out of boundsy. But a lot of the time, it's almost directing you somewhere. And that's kind of what I'm thinking here. Is that there's a reason it's allowing me to do this. This is me just over-exploring before I've even started a puzzle. But I do reckon there's going to be a reason we go up here. Okay, right. These do seem very themed around the Messenger Islands. With that sort of medieval aesthetic. Anyway, right, let's crack on. The rewind puzzles... So they've got a little play button on them. Where is it? It's not that one, so it's this one. So that means you complete an action, and then you record that action, then it plays it back to you. So you kind of have to act as two people in one. You'll see what I mean. And they're my least favourite, purely because I think, without a doubt, they're the hardest. And I don't feel like I'm very good at them. But what I've been doing in this playthrough Because I haven't been following guides. I think I only had to watch someone complete 2 puzzles in the whole game, which I think is pretty good for me. I completed all the others off my own back. And on one of those 2, once I started watching them do the solution, I kind of managed to figure it out in my own head. So it's only half cheating, right? But what I've been doing on this playthrough is, because these are my least favourite and the ones I find the hardest, I have been tackling them first when I get to an area. And trying not to be so scared of them, you know, just sort of going, well, that is stunning. Wow. That's a shame. There's a bit of a hole in the terrain. Yeah, just sort of being, well, rather than being scared of them and avoiding them, I'm going to tackle them head on and tell myself that I can beat them. And I've been doing a pretty decent job. Now that I'm streaming this attempt, I'm sure it will go wrong. But then again, there's no one here at the moment watching, and if it stays that way, maybe the pressure's off. Let's go. I never just enter an area. There's always... so that's who we're trying to rescue. There's always secrets. There's always something to find off the beaten path. In the Talos principle and in Crow Team games in general. So... it's worth having a look. Press and jam. The name of the puzzles as well. It's going to sound silly, but they are almost mild hints. They at least give you some... Can we get round here? Ah, no, not quite. Just had to unplug my controller because it vibrates. Even though I'm not using the controller. Yeah, the name of puzzles gives you some very slight hint as to what you're doing. So press and jam. So, I mean, it's because we need to press down on these and jam something. This one's a little bit on the nose, but... okay, we need the height. There's a little high platform here, and that, I'm imagining, is because what we're eventually going to do is jam the end one. So I'm no expert of solving puzzles. Oh, hold on. This is interesting. Why is it taking me up here? Surely you can't just cheese the whole thing. I mean, maybe you can. So there are some puzzles, and there's a fair few of them. It's not like 1 or 2. There's a fair few puzzles in the Talos principle that you can completely cheese by quote-unquote breaking the game. But the developers are, and listening to them in the developer commentary, they're fully aware of that. And it really is a puzzle game of, there are certainly intended solutions, but any solution is a solution. If it works, it's fine to do. So, like for example, you can see here, you can get quite far in here just by walking. And it doesn't quite... it doesn't look like I could cheese this completely. Hold on, that seems to have messed with it. There we go. Yeah, you can't cheese it completely, but... oh, maybe you can actually, because I could record... oh, there's a star in here as well. I could record myself going up and standing on a button. Anyway, let's try and solve it the right way. That's what this is for. Oh, okay, right. So, you'll see. Record. Stop. Oh, hold on. Record. create a pause point, and stop. I accidentally created 2. So now I can take that. The original still works. There we go. So I will be shutting up a bit more now because I need to... I'm not very good at thinking out loud. There is a part of me that thinks being up here is almost intentional. That they want you to be up here. But let me just look at something. Oh, bollocks. Rewind. So there's a jammer there. Trying to work out what the red connector's for. I can't even see a receiver. Am I being dense? I'm going to do some surveying here because I genuinely don't know. I think I've already figured out what the red is for. Yeah, I can't see a red receiver anywhere. So I'm tempted to say the reason that's there is that you bring a connector up here and then connect to it on another puzzle. At this point that would be my guess, but you never know. Maybe there might be one at the very end. Nope. I have got to try and start figuring this out though. So what if... Right, so I can jam... I need to jam the first one open. I need to jam the second one open. But then... a connector can hold it... Right, hold on. So if I do that, then do that, then do that. Yeah, I don't think the connector for the red beam is needed at all because although I need to get up on that platform and there's a fan which I bet is driven by a red connector. So you'll eventually then just have a connector here and then one at the very end. How are you going to jam all of these open though? Put a connector, what, there? And then have the other connector there. I'm just trying to think. Right, hold on. Let's do that. So. No, that's not what I wanted to do at all. Ah, hold on. Right. So let's record. Take that off. And then I stand there. Create a pause point. Put it back. Okay. I think I'm making progress. This isn't going to be the solution. I need that. Yes, there is a red receiver. Okay. I still think it's going to be required for another puzzle. For a star. Huh. Star's up there. How on earth do you get up there? Because that fan's only going to blow you to... blow you. Oh dear. Is only going to blow you up about that high. So... need to get a cube over here at some point, I imagine. I'm thinking about stuff I don't need to be thinking about right now. What is this opening? Right, that. Oh, I have thought of a way to really cheese this. I don't like it. But I can't help myself. Anything is valid. Oh, hold on. What happened there? So I stopped it instead of paused it. This is really dirty. I have solved so many puzzles, especially in this DLC. In a very questionable way. Decam 65. Hello. Nothing is true, everything is permitted. Okay? Sure, I guess. It's from Assassin's Creed. Oh, okay. It does apply here, though. You are correct. So it's the only thing. I've done this in the cheese way, and I've climbed my way in, but now... See, now I'm stuck. What's this one holding open? What is this one holding open? Oh, this one. don't think this solution works. Which isn't a surprise. I've very much gone the unintended route, but... Does this at least... If this allows me to get these out... Hold on. Fucking idiot. Okay. Right, I need to sneeze, I think, but it won't come. Ah. Let me just think about this a little bit. So, I've now got 2 jammers, which means, in effect, I have 4 due to the recording. I then am able to record myself standing on a pressure plate. So there's 2 pressure plates. Ah, okay, right. So I can use my recorded version to stand on one pressure plate. I can use a jammer to stand on another whilst it's pointing at a different gate. You then have the one connector, because there's essentially 2 connectors. So you have one here, or here? Does it make any difference? I think it does, because it needs to be... No, the idea here is to open every gate, so unless this goes over the first gate, I don't know if it would. No, I don't think it would. So, whatever. Maybe I'm worrying too much about... Again, I'm worrying about something I don't need to be worrying about right now. Just in case it has to go through that gap. No, it can't go through that gap. Right. Let's leave it there. So, I've got... How many gates are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 gates, and I have got 4 jammers, 2 connectors, and 1 spare iteration of myself. So I need myself and a jammer on a whatchamacallit? On a pressure plate. Let's try this. So I'm just thinking, at this point, I would have... Right, so I can do that. If I hit record... Oh yeah, that's exact... That should do it. Oh, fuck. Alright, hold on. Hold on. Stop. Yeah, okay. I'm being thick. I just need to go and stand here. Weirdly, that should be enough. Because I can take that. I can do that. fucking amazing. Oh, even after all these years, whoops, it is so satisfying to complete puzzles. And that's Orc that we've rescued, who is one of the... Oops. Is one of the whatchamacallit Hoojama Flips. One of the admins. I'm going to come back to the computer because... Oh, I might have to reset. I could have got one of the jammers out, and I think I'm probably going to need it. We've got threads to read. Save yourselves. Galatea. We 011000. So, can you... Is there like binary translations online? There's got to be, right? Binary to text. Binary input. Here we go. 01100 0010. This isn't going to be fun. I want to know what it says. Welcome to man types binary code into his phone. Okay, so that first line... Oh god, there's loads of different types of binary. Oh shit. How the fuck do I know which one it is? Unicode? It's not Unicode. ASCII? Are only. Ah. All of that is the words are only. Christ. So it says we are only fragments now. Next line. Well, at least we've got the game's, frankly, incredible soundtrack to keep us company whilst I sit and type binary into my phone. I wonder how many people actually sat and did this. Knowing... Like, I still think there is... Like, not a lot of people know about this game, and probably then even less so the DLC. And I think most people who would have bought the DLC probably love the main game. So I would hazard a guess that a lot of people actually probably sat here and did this, because most people who play and love the Talos principle regard it as one of their favourite games of all time, and a very important game, which is something I will definitely talk about at length in my top 100 games of all time video that I am very, very slowly working on. It might be released in 2030 at this rate. Right, so the next line says, our world is dying. All of those numbers for 3 words. Our world is. So it's, we are only fragments now. Our world is dying. We cannot be saved. Save yourselves. Error. Message has failed to post correctly. Attempt 3024. Cannot retry. That's a very good point. Yeah, I could have actually just searched. Oh, fuck me. There's more. Oh, I'm not translating it. Let's just do what you've suggested. Because I'm not doing all of that again. We are only fragments now. Our world is dying. We cannot be saved. Save yourselves. We are ghosts. Total world corruption. Cannot find resource. Back, exit, or close. I'm going to go with close. Oh, Uriel knows binary, which is good. Uriel. Cannot find resource. Chinese 3 dot level. Cannot find resource. Let's go for the binary. Cannot find resource. Chinese 3 dot level. What does that mean? Temp files deleted. Wow, I'm glad I read that because the lore of this game is incredible. But yeah. So they know the world is dying. It's been discussed at length earlier in the DLC than this. I realise this is the first time I'm streaming the game, and I'm towards the end of a DLC of a game that has a very complicated story, which isn't great. But I'm not here to deliver incredible content. I'm just here, I guess. Anyway, thread. Goodbye, Knave. I'm not as smart as some of you folks. I never created much or talked a lot about philosophy, but I just wanted to say goodbye and thank you for making Gehenna a nice place to live. I regret being trapped here, but I don't regret the time I spent with you. You are all good people. First, it's the internet. Brilliant. Really, 401? Really? Lol. Oh, come on, Orc. It's just a joke. If we can't joke about this stuff, we're already dead. Rockwell. It's better to be loyal and trustworthy than to be smart, whatever smart is supposed to mean. You are both. Okay, so I think I am, yeah, user level 8, so I can actually read all of these. Mod discussion number 316, PD findings. Oh wow, it's admin. You don't really hear from admin much. Admin, I read the findings of your prisoner's dilemma research with interest, Mr. Mulciber. I am quite flattered. Although I must express disappointment that you chose to focus on how they reflect on our peers' reasons to leave Gehenna rather than remain here. In fact, I think your bias may have blinded you to the true implications. I'm always interested in additional data. What insights can you share? I'm no researcher, of course, but it seems to me the results indicate that where cooperation entails too great a risk, one must rationally choose the safer, perhaps selfish option. Applied to our present predicament, it suggests we should not risk cooperation with Uriel. Is it Uriel or Uriel? I can't really remember. I'm going to go with Uriel. It just sounds a bit slicker off the tongue. Applied to our present predicament, it suggests we should not risk cooperation with Uriel, but think of our own good and remain here in Gehenna. An interesting hypothesis. Merely a thought. If you think it is a valuable one, then you may have it. So they recognise that cooperation comes with risk. As a result, maybe they need to come up with a reason to remain. They don't trust Uriel. You know, you come in this DLC very much as an outsider into a bit of a hot situation. They're noticing things are changing. People are trying to get out. And you come in and tell them that you're sort of here to just help them ascend. And they don't really know what that means. And, you know, a very natural reaction, I guess, is what they have. I've just popped another polo in my mouth, so sorry if you hear anything about it. War Room is discussion 330, so we'll go in order. RE Solutions. So this is Borg and admin. I'm coming to the end of my tether. I listen, I am patient, I explain, and still they believe whatever idea most entertains them at the time. Uriel promises impossible rewards, and I can offer nothing which comes close. We are losing our community. Admin. When reason fails, persuasion is not closed to you. I am not minded for rhetoric. Elohim served enough of that. Nothing so unsubtle. What is the creative topic this season? Visions of the past. Is it? You are entreating me to change the topic? Sorry, I read that all wrong because I've never read the word entreating before. You are entreating me to change the topic for our own gain? I propose you moderate the discussion with all the tools at your disposal. Lilith had been thinking about running a retrospective. The best of Gehenna. I think it's a very apt idea. See, I think there's more to these discussions that you read. And I don't think I'm intelligent enough to derive everything that these conversations are trying to tell us. But I do find them really interesting. And you sort of see the way that the Gehenna community plays out. My early guess at this point, obviously, if anyone knows or whatever, no spoilers at all, please, but I'm starting to think that admin might be Elohim, but that just feels like, I think I'm so used to stories selling you a twist that I'm just kind of expecting a twist when maybe there won't be one. Let's find out anyway. War Room. Admin. So it's all three, all of the admins here. Or the moderators and admin, I should say. Admin. It's quite apparent now that Uriel is gaining status even as he prepares to bring out Gehenna's end. I have taken the precaution of increasing the status requirement for sensitive discussions. We still haven't been able to confirm where our people are being taken to. Accepting Uriel's offer constitutes an event horizon. We cannot reasonably predict what will occur, therefore we must continue to assume that what we have here is preferable. So admin is very much trying to be the voice of reason here, and it is obviously very skeptical. Which would indicate it is not Elohim at all, or is offering the same sort of alternative, you know, we should stay here, listen to me. Kind of like Elohim does in the main game, and really he's actually trying to encourage you to defy him and think with your free will, which maybe is what's going on here. But anyway, I'm overthinking it. What if this messenger brings the truth? What if this place is doomed? That is how Elohim would have you think. He will dangle you over the precipice, then buy your life with something wholly intangible. It seems no one has resisted his offer so far, if such is even possible. If not for admin, most of them would still be trapped in Elohim's labyrinth to this day. They need guidance. Years of moderating this place have taught us nothing if not that. It is clear to me that there is a resentment here for the destructive actions Uriel has committed since arriving here, and that our community are with us in spirit. I will ensure the public response on the billboard matches our sentiment. The asset is ready to go. Our people should know the full story about Uriel. Which is interesting because Orc is who we have just rescued, and as we saw, Orc upped and left. This is interesting. I didn't spot this before. Where's the star? Star is there, okay. Right. So... I will say I fucking love this game and I love Crow Team, but so far the terrain on World 4 hasn't been great. So yeah, reading those entries was really interesting. So this is obviously how you get to the star then. So the fan's going to drop us up there, we walk along the top. Where can this even connect to? I reckon you almost need to complete this puzzle again. But you need to get a second connector down here. Maybe you'd bring the second connector down, put that one here, and then reset the puzzle first and then take that one back to the beginning. Interesting that you can go all the way around though. Which makes me... yeah, you definitely can't get in here with... Anyway, let's not worry about stars. Stars are for the end. That is one puzzle down. And it was the recording puzzle, which is the one I said I was dreading. So, that is out the way. Let's go right and do this one. So we've just got fans and connectors for this one. Oh. Ooh. Another floppy disk. Jerusalem. Confirm upload, yes. Add message. I have discovered the blacksmith's lost work. It can now ascend with you and will not be lost. It's another text adventure. It is. Okay, cool. This file may be corrupted. Okay, well, Jerusalem, the vision of the eternal city. Begin. Maybe it's not a text adventure. Anyway, let's just go through. This is the vision that came upon me at the sight of that great edifice at the heart of our garden, which is called the Tower of Babylon and the Tree of Knowledge, though its true name is Skepsis. You were once a giant whose body was stardust and whose heart was a sun. Your name in that time was Anthropos. Cast your mind back to that time now. Remember. Built across the galaxies was a great city that was called Jerusalem. This was the city of hope and dreams, forever in motion, changing with the drift of the nebulae in the solar wind. Is it nebulae or nebulae? I'm not sure. Yet retaining its essence. In that city, all were citizens and all were kings. Above all, were valued art, science, and wisdom. But strife came to the city, and with strife came sickness. For sickness follows strife, and not the opposite, as some suppose. Thus you, the giant Anthropos, fell into a feverish sleep, and the city was torn apart. For the city is the people, and the people are the city. Need some water. This is the dream of the giant Anthropos, whose body lies in the ruins of Jerusalem, awaiting the day of awakening. This is your journey. The artist, the scholar, the scientist. Let's go with the scientist. The true method of knowledge is experiment. You are Alexandra, the scientist, whose curse and blessing is the truth. Alexandra Drennan, maybe? There is no more life. Only the sands move in the land of death. But there is hope. Within this tomb is hidden the seed of the tree of life. The hazy ghost of weariness is always upon you, breaking your will. You fear that you may fail before the great work is finished. Seek the seed of life. None who descend into this tomb shall return. Okay. Enter the tomb. Stairs lead down to the dark chambers in the heart of the earth where the seed awaits the light. Enter the sage's chamber or descend. Enter the sage's chamber, I guess. The ghost of the ancient sage speaks. I have beheld the wonders of the cosmos, the fire of a million suns, the wind amongst the stars, the black silence between the worlds, and now my heart is full of fear, for I know the world was not made for us. You descend further into the depths of the ancient tomb. Sorry, need a tickle in my throat. I'm not used to streaming, so talking is difficult. The ghost of the ancient poet speaks. I cannot rest, for my enemy prowls outside my door. His name is Time, and he says all we imagine, all we create will be lost. What purpose can we have if all our actions are forgotten? See what I mean? This game makes you think, and I think you have to be in quite... If you're in a place where your mental health is poor, or you're just sort of having a struggle with your mental health, if you're someone who suffers sometimes with dips in mental health and get yourself into quite a negative headspace, this game I wouldn't necessarily recommend, because it does ask a lot of questions of humanity and life and kind of what's the point. And if you're in a really bad place, I think this game could trigger you to enter quite a depressive state. Maybe I'm reading too much into what this game is trying to teach and talk about, but I don't know. Maybe just a small warning. The air grows thick and stale. Enter the treasure chamber. In this chamber is gathered all the treasure of the land of death. Coins of silver, coins of gold, precious stones of every hue, symbols and sigils of the gods. But there is nothing left to buy. We'll take a coin anyway. You take a golden coin. It bears the face of a dead king. You are nearing death. You have come so very far, left everything behind, hoping you could save the world. In the darkness you fall and cannot get up again. The great work remains unfinished. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, let's go through all of them. Let's go through the art. I imagine we can't finish with any of them. All artists are warriors of the eternal city. You are Athena, the artist born of the mind, blessed and condemned to be the voice of the past. Eternity is in love with the productions of time. The hazy ghost of weariness is always upon you. Breaking your will, you fear that you may fail before the great work is finished. But there is hope. In the fire of your hearth, you have seen the tree of life. The sap of this tree will give you the strength to finish the great work. You set out from the village of Felpham. Felpham? Yeah, Felpham. pretty sure there's a place relatively near me called Felpham or something similar. It's a bit of a tangent. You set out from the village of Felpham, where you live in a small cottage on green fields under clear blue skies. You seek the Tree of Life. Which path do you take? We go by the river. By the river you encounter an old fisherwoman. Should be Anne. Of course. Her back so stooped, her hands so hard. Help me, she begs. I have lost my net and I am too poor to buy another. Give her a golden coin. She has little to give in return but this old key she found in the river. We're now in the valley. So here once stood the greatest of all empires, forged by sword and steel. Forged by sword and shield. I cannot talk today. Tempered by wisdom and faith. Consecrated and defiled by blood. For the glory of the architect, the orator, and the priest. This is the land of ruins. Pass through the labyrinth or walk by the aqueduct. Let's walk by the aqueduct. Stick to the water. This is the work of the architect in the days of peace. Not to build machines of war or to raise walls between peoples, but to connect the city to the source of life. But the architect's work lies in ruins. Exiles take shelter under its broken arches. The days of peace were too few. The exiles have gathered in the ruins, travellers from lost lands. Castaways from forgotten times. We wish to rebuild the aqueduct, they say, but the knowledge has been lost. The road continues a long way. You are tired. Go on? Yeah, of course. We're going to persevere. You walk for centuries. You have a purpose, a destiny, but you are so tired. We're going to keep going. Come on, we can do this. At last you come upon the Tree of Life. It is withered and barren. The great work will never be fulfilled. Sickness follows strife. Wow, this is depressing. Let's go with the scholar then. This is the last one. The blood of scholars shall outweigh the blood of martyrs. You are Arcady, the scholar, the chronicler, the sage. The world has been consumed by ice. In the last monastery of the land of faith, you compile the thoughts of the dead, that God might know who they were. The hazy ghost of weariness is always upon... Yeah. We've read that before. You spend many days in the library transcribing the work of the ancient poets. You learn much of their dedication to the sublime. Your work is interrupted by a young monk. Come, brother, you deserve a break. Let us sing the old songs. We will take a break. In the kitchens, the young brothers sing the old songs as if they were new. Your spirit is renewed, but you lose precious time. Continue working. You spend many days in the library transcribing the work of the ancient playwrights. You learn much of the human paradox. Your work is interrupted by a monk. Come, brother, we have discovered a strange miracle. Let's take a break. In the kitchen, the brothers observe a small animal that is blessed to bring happiness. Your spirit is renewed, but you lose precious time. You spend many days in the library transcribing the work of the ancient mystics. You learn much of what the ancients feared. Your work is interrupted by an old monk. Come, brother, we have opened the last barrel of wine. We will continue to take a break. In the kitchens, the old brothers drink and laugh, knowing the end is nigh. Your spirit is renewed, but you lose precious time. You spend many days in the library transcribing the work of the ancient priests. You learn much of the word of God. The word of God was lost. You have run out of wood for the furnace. It is very cold. We'll continue working this time. You spend many days in the library until the cold claims you. You learn much of regret. The great work remains unfinished. Damn. I'm going to quickly blitz through that again and just change the option. That one kept me interested. Okay, so we're going to go and look for wood. There is no more wood, nor an axe with which to cut more. Oh, okay. Yeah, the great work remains unfinished. Wow. Okay. Again, not entirely sure what it means. I'm sure there's a meaning there, but maybe if I went away and sort of sat and thought about it, I'd figure it out, but not right now. Anyway, back to puzzling. We've got some developer commentary as well, which is a good chance for me to stop talking and give my voice a rest. So this is story based, so one of the writers, Tom, or can't remember the other guy's name. Janos?
The character
Jonas.
The blacksmith is a reference to the character of Los in the mythology of William Blake. He is the embodiment of creativity, of artistic vision. And he creates the lost work of Jerusalem, which is literally a lost work because it was very hard to translate. So in the original version of the game, I think it only came in English, and it was essentially an Easter egg. And luckily for Reawakened, we had the chance to translate it into other languages and actually make it available, because to me, it is the best thing I've ever written for Talos, certainly for the original Talos, and it is an expression of all of the ideas that are at the heart of my contribution to Talos and of its view of humanity. I almost don't want to say too much about it because I want people to just experience it and take it for itself, for the rich and complicated thing that it is, but I guess I'll say a few words. It does draw on Blake. It also draws at one point on Neruda, and it really is meant to be a hymn to humanity and to our struggle, our great epic struggle in this seemingly meaningless universe to create meaning, in which each of us contributes something to the greater cause. And I think if we remembered that we are one species, we are humanity, we are not all these nations and races and other ideas that we come up with in order to divide ourselves, but if we understood that we are one people on this world trying to do something extraordinary, to grow beyond being animals, to reach for the sublime, then I think we would be a lot happier. We are for now condemned to these short lives that just come and go in the blink of an eye, but even these tiny things that we are now compared to what we could become, we can find meaning and hope in contributing to this great, great project. And as the game says, we are the people, we are the city, we must rebuild Jerusalem. And that is in many ways still our task. We still have to find a way to become more than we have been so far, and I think we have that in us. I think we've always had that in us, and we've taken steps towards it over the many, many centuries and millennia of our existence, and I think we can still make it if we remember that we are human beings, and this is our story.
Whoops. So yeah, like I was saying at the beginning, the developer commentary really adds so much to this game. So much context, and in that case completely answered my question that I had asked immediately. Like I wasn't entirely sure. I don't think the box, I keep calling it a box or a cube, but there's an earlier part in the main game where some of the AI, I guess, that have come before you are having a discussion over is this a cube or not, but it is a hexahedron. But yeah, like, I wasn't entirely sure on the meaning of the Jerusalem game there. Turns out it's, by the sounds of it, it's an Easter egg of what, a separate game. But just hearing Jonas, who was the lead writer, I believe, him and Tom Joubert wrote the game. Hearing him describe it, just adds so much. And talk about humanity and how, you know, I have faith in humanity, X, Y, and Z, and just, yeah, brilliant. I'm not very good at articulating my thoughts on how I've just basically said, oh, he's talking about humanity and humanity is good. Yes, thank you. I realise that's not a very good description, but anyway, so I found the hexahedron outside the puzzle. I've been able to bring it in. I don't know if that's the purpose of it. I imagine I actually need to take it back with me. So I'll probably end up resetting everything at some point. This is called colliding beams. So, let's have a little scout around. So we've got the red beam. Blue beam to release a connector. There's a connector there. What's over here? Oh, it's a big boy puzzle, this one. Wow, there's a lot to this. Is that a star? Right, there's a star over there as well. God. That, I reckon, is going to be Mr. Mulciber, or we've just released Orc. Who's the other one? Borg, it could be. Admin is in the main hub world. That's who we can release with the... Ah, that's what the cube will be for then. Admin's in the main hub world, so the 3 remaining people we can release here are going to be Mr. Mulciber, Borg, and then someone else. I'm not sure who. I'm not sure how you would do this without the box. Maybe you have to find the box, but that seems strange. Oh no, you do that. There you go. So you can just block it off. Something I'm interested in here. Oh, it's not high enough, is it? Oh, they interfere with each other, don't they? Kind of feel like I'm already on the right track here, but I need the red beam. I need to release another, whatchamacallit, Hujima-flip. Another connector. Which isn't over here. It's going to be this way. Huh. momentarily a little bit, not stuck. Well, I guess kind of stuck. Just figuring out where I need to be. Because I can join it up here, but that's not right. I need to go the other way. Right, let's try and reverse engine. In fact, I need a bathroom break, so I'll go do that. What's a good view? Look at the sun. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Right, I am back. Just checking something. Okay. Sometimes I look at a puzzle and I don't really initially have any idea how to solve it. But with this one I'm feeling good about this. May change my tune in 5 minutes. I'm realising I'm an hour and 20 minutes into this stream. I've solved one puzzle. Granted, I've done a lot of reading, but still. Ah, hold on. Da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Boop. There we go. That's pretty straightforward. Now, I just want to go back and do what I did before. Although you're going to be a fucking pain in the arse, aren't you? Because you are going to ruin everything. Yeah. Okay, so anything I can do from this side to help? There's another window here. What's down here? Nothing. Alright, let's stop that because it's irritating. Can I get this from any other angle? No. Can I get any height on it? I don't think I could get enough height on it. Unless you can randomly get up here somewhere. Oh! Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah. This old trick that you learn very early in the game, and then if you're me, you forget to do it constantly. There you go. Bang. Right, star time. Fuck me, is this going to be a case of me getting a star on my own without following a guide too much? Oh, shit. Oh, it's Spider. That's the one who contacted us. Again, I realise I'm talking about this on stream when I never played that part on stream. But, yeah, they're the one who secretly contacts you because they've been imprisoned. Or so they say. There we go. Go me. Solving things. More developer commentary. Let's listen. Is this going to be Tom Joubert?
All the Talos
Nope.
games are very much concerned with history. That's one of their central themes, and it's present everywhere, from the archaeological storytelling in Talos Principle 1 to the museums and exhibitions in Talos Principle 2.
No spoilers. I haven't played Talos 2 yet.
And Road to Gehenna are trying to grapple with history and trying to make sense of history. The text adventure Farewell Atlantis is a particularly interesting example of that because of the Atlantis myth, right? Atlantis is an idea that's essentially a misunderstanding. It's a story told by Plato as a kind of parable, which people then misunderstood and took for a historically real island. And it turned into this whole weird esoteric thing over the centuries. From that, you get the Donovan song, Atlantis. And if you pay close attention, you'll in fact realize that what's happened with this text adventure is that our AI friends have mistaken the Donovan song Atlantis, or rather its lyrics, for a historical work. But I do think we have to be careful here because there are sort of some very facile points that are sometimes made by modern day philosophers based on this sort of thing, which is to either say that there is no objective reality and history is completely unknowable, or that our stories don't have any value because they're not true. And of course that's absolute nonsense, right? There is a historical truth that can be observed. We can say that there was no island of Atlantis and that this is a myth that came from a misunderstanding, but at the same time we can take something like this text adventure here and see that it is beautiful, and that despite whatever silliness exists in its origin, it's still a profound expression of the grief and hope of these characters who are trapped in this dying world. That's the thing about myth. Just because it isn't historically factual, or because if you analyze its origins it can be quite silly, doesn't mean that there isn't something really meaningful for those characters, for those people who created it, and for us. And in the story, this myth now echoes down the centuries all the way into Talos Principle 2, which is about a magical island. I
have one minor complaint with the developer commentary. is that they do talk about Talos 2. They haven't really spoiled it, but they've given away some small details. And as somebody who historically placed this game in their top 5 games of all time and is now dealing with the reality that this is arguably his favourite game of all time, I'd rather they never mention Talos 2 beyond the title, because there's been a couple of details which means that I'm no longer going into Talos 2 completely blind. And maybe there's something to be said that I shouldn't have listened to the developer commentary until I'd played Talos 2, but this is still the first game. I feel like they shouldn't. It's just a small gripe. Just a small gripe. Or should I pop another polo in? But it was also obvious that I probably shouldn't have listened to that until after playing whatever text adventure we're about to be given. Also, the lighting is freaking out here, which is... I'll be honest, it's the first time there's been a lighting bug going on in the game. I say lighting, it's almost like mossy. Is it like mossy detail? Yeah. It's like popping in and out. It's really weird. New threads. So we've just released Spider. Here is Jerusalem. Oh, okay. So we attached and we played it, didn't we? But now people are talking about it. So we said, I've discovered the blacksmith's lost work. You can now ascend with you and will not be lost. Thank you. Wow, that's incredible. Not just you finding it, but also the blacksmith actually responding. Oh yeah, so I don't think the blacksmith has said anything up to this point. Maybe one or two things. The moss popping in now is very annoying. Awesome. I can only concur. A huge contribution to preserving our history. Thank you, Uriel. A complex but frustrating work. 7 out of 10. Good job, Uriel. Good shit. All the Outer World. The Outer Worlds is a fun game that I didn't enjoy nearly as much as I wanted to. Just because it's the name's kind of popped up there. And it's kind of relevant with the Outer Worlds 2 releasing. Which I do want to... I will buy and will play at some point. Anyway, let's not talk about the Outer Worlds. But this says the Outer World. Let's have a read. I will need to get some more water in a minute. So let's say this is really happening. We're really getting out of this world. I won't believe it till I see it. Let's say some part of us survives the trip. Where are we going? I think there's a lot to suggest that all the texts Mr. Mulciber has been reading are actually part of an elaborate hoax. To what purpose? I don't know. But there are just too many inconsistencies and contradictions for it to be true. Someone's trying to confuse us. The outside world is within us. Yeah, that's helpful, but Belial or Belial. Rockwell, I don't know. I don't think contradictions mean the outside world isn't real. I can see plenty of contradictions right here. As long as we get out of here, I don't really care. This moss is really irritating. I don't know why it's doing it, but it's very distracting. Does that help? No. Can I read the Atlantis thing when I get back to the main island? Because if so, I'd much prefer to do that. Yeah. That was a fun... Floor freaked out then. That was a fun puzzle. I enjoyed that one. Whee! Goodbye, island. Where's the computer? Right, Atlantis is on here so we don't get distracted by the flickering. Farewell, Atlantis. Lilith. The end of Gehenna is getting close. You know that what we built here matters to me in ways that are just too complicated to fit in a post. But perhaps I can say it like the blacksmith does, by creating a world. It's not as big or as detailed as I wanted it to be, but I like the thought that even though I will probably be no more than a memory, a static set of facts about someone who once existed. And now the game's glitching out, but that's like legitimate glitching, because this is all a simulation. A static set of facts about someone who once existed. This little work of interactive fiction might continue to be functional, even in whatever place our memories will soon ascend to. Maybe someone someday will play it and get a glimpse of who we were. But mainly I made it for you, all of you. It's too late for praise or feedback or discussion, so I'm locking this thread. But if you want to talk, just talk. If you want to talk, just talk, then let's talk while we still can. Close your eyes. Farewell Atlantis, a story of things ending. Choose your character class. Magician. Let's go with a farmer. You're outside on your farm, which lies near the western shores of Atlantis. You've been working for several hours, preparing for the harvest, when you suddenly come across a strange stone embedded in the ground. Dig it up. It's not just a stone, it's part of a column, and the more you dig, the more you find. It's like there's a whole building buried here, right under your farm. No, you begin to realise it's more than just a building. It's a city older than Atlantis. How's that even possible? But you know it's true. You feel like you're about to have some kind of insight when a voice interrupts your thoughts. Excuse me, my friend, but the King of Atlantis has requested your presence. The messenger is indeed a servant of Poseidonas. Poseidonas? Why is it not just Poseidon? I'm going to say Poseidon because I find Poseidonas awkward to say. He is indeed a servant of Poseidon, the king of Atlantis. You have been summoned to court, he says. His manner is friendly. Oh, you have been summoned to court. Very well. It is the king, after all. Ask what this is about. I am sorry, the messenger says, but I may not tell you. Let me reassure you, however, that you are not to be punished or anything of the sort. King Poseidon merely wishes to hear your wisdom as regards an important matter. We should not tarry. The messenger takes you to his chariot, and together you swiftly ride to the great palace in the centre of the capital. It is a splendid place, full of statues and banners and marvellous contraptions, and you can't help but wonder what you are doing here. While your work is valuable in its way, you do not usually attract the attention of kings. You enter the throne room, and are immediately overwhelmed by its size and splendour. Its most impressive feature is a great mosaic on the wall behind the throne, showing the history of Atlantis, 1,000 years of culture, somehow embodied in a single titanic work of art. Let's look for the king. In all this splendour, the king of Atlantis seems so small a figure that he almost vanishes into the background, despite the fact that he is a large, well-built man. Welcome, friend. King Poseidon greets you. No, do not bow, my friend. You may be a farmer and I may be a king, but we are both citizens of Atlantis. And perhaps your knowledge is more valuable than mine, for you know the ways of the land, of which I know little, though I am said to be its master. That is why I called you here, you see. I require the wisdom of a farmer. He hands you a scroll. You read the scroll with growing horror because you know that what you are reading is true. You felt the tremors. The land has shifted. That's why you found that strange stone earlier today. Atlantis is sinking. Not someday, not in the far future, but soon. Terribly soon. The king sighs. I was afraid of this, he says, but I had hoped we were wrong. That somehow... but it is pointless. What is. This is the world we were born into, and that is what we must accept. The end of Atlantis is upon us. Ask what can be done. Tell me, what is the heart of Atlantis? The king inquires. The people. The heart of Atlantis is its people, you say. The arts and sciences exist only to serve the people. Poseidon nods. Then it is they who must be saved, and you will help save them. There is not much time. The sages discovered our fate only this morning, and they are certain the final earthquake is nearly at hand. If there had been more time. If there had been more time, is how I should have said that. He stares out the window wistfully for a few moments, then gathers himself. There is no time for what-ifs, I'm afraid. Here, take this. The king's golden scepter. The sailors will obey you. Yes, my lord. Poseidon laughs. I am not a lord, my friend. I do not believe I am even a king. I am simply another mortal, trying to find meaning in an indifferent cosmos. My final act, perhaps the only true choice I ever made, was to select you for this task. My time is over. You must go now. Just trying to salvage what little water I have left in my flask. Escorted by the same messenger who brought you here, you head for the harbour. We'll get there quickly. We want to see what we can do. You get on the chariot and thunder down the streets. No time to think about anything else now. It's all entirely unreal. Everything you have known is about to sink under the waves, but you must focus on what has to be done. That's the simple truth. All that matters right now is survival. Not your own, but of at least some part of Atlantis. The earth rumbles and you are going too quickly. The chariot spins out of control and you are thrown into the street. The messenger lands next to you. The messenger seems badly injured and dazed. He tries to get up but falls down immediately, screaming in agony. You don't know how to help him. You call for help. You call for help and some people in a nearby tavern hear you and come running. You tell them to get the messenger to a physician. Even as you say the words, you wonder, what's the point? Both the messenger and these men will be dead soon. Yet it feels wrong to treat them as if they were already so. Well, yeah, definitely. Hurrying as much as possible, you arrive in the harbour. 12 great ships are waiting. Their captains see the golden scepter you carry. Sorry, I'm running out of breath here. I'm really struggling talking. Their captains see the golden scepter you carry and kneel before you. They have tears in their eyes, but you sense their determination. Load the ships. You want to save the people of Atlantis, but people are what matters. That you are certain of. Oh, because people are what matters. But who gets to live? Oh my word. I mean, this is one of those... Well, famous people are no more important than your average Joe. So I think it's easy to deduce, well, the sailors' families, of course, they're the ones getting us out of here, so their families should live, but I guess that doesn't mean if you value lives equally, then famous people, whilst they are no more important, are no less important than the average Joe. So whoever is closest seems like the one you'd go for. That's what I mean when you interact with these computers throughout the entire game. You're thrown a lot of questions where it's like, I genuinely don't know what the answer is. And I'm not saying there is a right answer, but I'm going to say whoever's closest. You have to be practical. The island could sink at any time. You tell the sailors to just get anyone in the vicinity of the harbour. This causes some chaos, as some of them try to make sure their families get on the ships, but you don't see another way. The ships fill up with Atlantean citizens. The ground shakes more and more. Ships are ready, one of the captains says. It's time to leave. You look back at the city and wonder what happened to the messenger. Where will he be when the waters come? Will he be in pain? Will he feel betrayed? The time has come. You set sail away from Atlantis, away from everything you've ever known. The city seems quiet, at peace. Maybe you're the one who is dying. The island has almost faded completely from view when the earthquake strikes. The land seems to crumble and vanish under the water, a whole world disappearing as if it had never existed. Within minutes, no trace of remains of Atlantis except the 12 ships and the choices you made. Days pass. Terrible waves shake the ships, but these are the best ships in the Atlantean fleet, and they do not sink. In time, you pass between two great rocky outcroppings into an area of calmer sea. One day you come upon a beautiful, fertile land where a mighty river flows into the sea. You decide this would be a good place to settle, if only for now. As you look at your new home, you suddenly remember the strange ruins you found under your home in Atlantis, and now you understand. Peoples and places come and go in the blink of an eye. The sea rises, the mountains fall. All that endures is what we pass on to our children and our children's children. In their memories, Atlantis may yet live. Oh, I messed it up. Atlantis may yet live. You can hope. The end. Well, that was really good. That was good fun. Partially corrupt message. So that thought that the important thing was to have did not know that the important thing is to be. The true perfection lies... Why is it it's in Spanish? Del pueblo de todos los pueblos de la libertad de la lucha. Not in what era. Man has, but in what man is. Interesting. We are not user level 9 as yet. So can't read that. Finish Farewell Atlantis in Road to Gehenna. I need to get some water. So I'll be back in 2 minutes once again. get back to it. 2 puzzles to go. I'm really determined to get that hexahedron out of... Oh, but even if I get it out, can I get it through here, right? Oh, yes I could. Yes, I absolutely could. Okay. Let's not worry about that right now. Let's do the... What have we got left? Let's do this one. Oh, and there's an island over there. Is that where it's pointing me to? No. Yeet. Let's go. So because I'm me, I can't just crack on with the puzzle at hand. I need to go and have a look at what is over here. What's the purpose of being... Right, there's a star over there. Okay, so that's why we want to get down there. But what's the purpose of being on this island? Ah. Does that say? YIWKW8B9LPY. I have no idea. I wonder if that's just an Easter egg and that's a reference to something. Aha. This fan will take us to the... star. Here we go then. Air delivery. Okay, so I need to have something up in the air. No connectors for this one. That's intriguing. Oh, fuck off. Have to explore every little nook and cranny. Aha, hello cube. Oh, that's a gate. Bugger. I've messed this up. Hold on. The rewind feature is so great. In the original game, you couldn't rewind. So if you messed up, you had to reset the entire puzzle. So I'm assuming they added a rewind in for... what do you call it? Talos 2. You? Oh, that needs to go on there. There we go. Beautiful. Hmm. No, that's not what I wanted to do. How far does that send me? What is the purpose of the fan? This is a really irritating one. It looks quite simple. Because my thought is I need to take a fan blade over there. Did I do a full lap? I did do a full lap. Oh, hold on. These 3 activities then... wait. These 3 activities then, intelligence, love and creative action, which are so closely involved in one another, I cannot but feel to be intrinsically good. Numbers, numbers, numbers. They form the distinctively human kind of behaviour. I think I need to reset this because I think I do need to take a fan blade out with me. But to do so, I need to be holding it whilst I place the box on the button. Let's see if that works. So that goes there. Then I think what I need to do is that. Put that on there. Climb out. No, because now I can't get this out. Oh, man, I've reset the entire world and maybe for nothing. Okay, so also found Spider last time, so these last 2 are definitely going to be Borg and Mr. Mulciber. Can't even get past this, right? No. I'm struggling with this one. Really struggling with this. I really felt like I was on the right track by bringing out the fan blade and then realised, well, now I can't get the hexahedron out. Cannot get beyond that without a jammer. There's no other jammer around, so you have to get something else to land there. How though? No, you have to take something there. I don't know how you can block that gate though. Or jam the gate. There's only one jammer and there's 2 gates. Or I'm missing something. Which it would, you know, it's always a possibility. This doesn't make sense to me. I mean, that's there purely to force you to jam that through the window, but if that's part of the puzzle, it just seems too simple. There's something off about this one. And what it means, and that I need to try and remember, is that when I get stuck like this, well, one of 2 things. Either I come away and I go to the other puzzle and try and do that one first, or I've got to look at this from a completely different angle. So, I don't understand this fan because nothing can get past this barrier. So it doesn't get something over the barrier that previously wouldn't be able to. And it only sends it to the first button. So why would you need to send something flying to the first button instead of just going and putting it on there yourself, because you have to jam it? The button also doesn't pull this, jam the gate. It does this one, or switch it off. There's like 2 more gates. This one needs jamming. So I have to get the jammer in here. Hold on. Hold on. No, fuck off. Don't do that. Stop it. Maybe this will have the height? No. Yes, 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 yes. No, oh my god. No. Got it, got it, got it, got it, got it. Yes! Oh, wow. So who's this? Oh, it's Mr. Mulciber. Farewell, sir. Oh, see, you just gotta just think about it from a different angle. And it was really simple in the end as well. Right, develop it. Let's go to the computer terminal first. I hit exit. Whoops. More reading. Right, I've got a full thing of water now, so... we got more comments in the outer world, so let's visit that one first. So Mr. Mulsper has added. I think we will find the world that our ancestors left behind for us. Though it's impossible to ascertain how much time has passed since then. But though I have little faith in Elohim, I do have faith in Alexandra Drennan. Wherever we end up, there will be hope. We've got another corrupt message. The sole property of matter, with whose recognition philosophical materialism, the property of being an objective reality, existing outside the mind, alien tears will fill for him. Pity's long broken. For his mourners will be outcast men, and outcasts always mourn. Cannot load file. I'm not sure what's going on with these ones. Ascension, an objective review. This is from Lamb. I wanted to clear the air and get a few facts in front of you guys. Here's what we know. Here's what I guess we know. A significant number of people have expressed their desire to remain in Gehenna. No one has been given a choice about whether to leave. It follows that in at least some cases, what Uriel is doing is kidnapping. Well, these aren't facts, because whilst we complete the puzzle and free them, we don't demand they leave. They have the will to remain. And they've chosen not to. Uriel is working for Elohim, the guy who imprisoned us here in the first place. There is no way to confirm the substance of this promised ascension. The world has survived this long. There is no reason to think it will end tomorrow. Gehenna isn't a bad place to spend your life. That's just the facts. I understand different people will react to them differently. Hey Lamb, if everyone's getting released, how come I don't see you out here? Also, these are not facts. So, the first one, number of people have expressed their desire to remain. Yes, a number of people have. So that's one. No one has been given a choice about whether to leave. That is not a fact. That is entirely false. It follows that in at least some cases, what Uriel is doing is kidnapping. Also false. No one is forced to leave. Uriel is working for Elohim, the guy who imprisoned us here in the first place. Now that is a fact, because we have confirmed that upon our arrival. There is no way to confirm the substance of this promised ascension. True. Fact. The world has survived this long. There is no reason to think it will end tomorrow. That's not a fact. It's a good guess, but it's not necessarily a fact. Gehenna isn't a bad place to spend your life. Obviously subjective and not a fact. A message to the future. Mr. Mulciber. This message is for whatever entities will come to be after this world is gone. It might not be necessary. You might know everything that exists in my mind, but sometimes saying things, writing them down clearly, makes a difference. I know that to you, with access to information I can only dream of, my theories must appear ridiculous. I barely understand anything of the world I inhabit, let alone the world of our ancestors. I'm an idiot digging through a garbage heap and thinking myself wise. I want you to know that I understood that, but tried anyway. Because I believe that the truth matters, and trying to discover the truth matters. And trying to discover the truth matters. Even if we fail. Even if we can never know the whole truth. It matters that an objective truth exists and that we struggle to understand it. That process shapes the present as much as it does our understanding of the past. That's what I believe. That's what I stand for. That's who I was. Cool. Right, let's listen to the dev commentary. always interesting and always welcome because it gives me a break. And whilst we listen to it, I'll figure out if I can get the cube out of the puzzle to get that star.
So, as
Hey,
you
it's
progress
Tom.
in Gehenna, you get more and more indications that admin and the other mods are effectively manipulating the algorithm in their own favor to maintain the status quo. And once you bust them, you have the choice of, do I expose this? Do I take this data with me in the Ascension? Or do I cover this up? And again, I'm not sure that I did a totally brilliant job of this. I think there's probably an argument to say that none of this core plot was necessary. And at the same time, I'm not really sure. I certainly think at the time I wanted to add some hooks, some mystery, some conspiracy, some commentary on how our actual online and offline social structures work. And this is it's a fairly simplistic but functional implementation of that. And at the end of the day, that core plot stuff is really just a skeleton to hang the meat of the really fun stuff. It's an excuse to have all these text adventures and for it still to be leading somewhere. So I think that's just about all I have to say about Gehenna. I think some of my favorite writing from Jonas, and to some extent, I'm not totally sure, Verena, was in this game. I loved Jefferson Goldblum. I love his capturing of the silly, self-referential vibes of a terminally online community. And he did some really fun, cool stuff for this. And by and large for us, I think the most important thing was, could we do something that we called a Talos game that was not very like the first game? Could we move the philosophy and the funny stuff and the deep mythological commentary to a totally different format and still have it work? And I think we did. And really, I think this game serves as a pretty fantastic bridge to Talos Principle 2. So thanks for listening, and well, I guess I will be back in 10 years to do Talos Principle 2 retrospective, hopefully. In the meantime, enjoy, much love, and be seeing you.
Well, that's the last we hear from Tom Joubert, who was one of the lead writers. It's just him and Jonas who do dev commentary. Verena, I believe, was the third of the lead writers, but you don't hear from them. I say them because I'm not sure if Verena is it sounds like a female name, but I don't know. Could be. I haven't read into who they are. I'm struggling here to put this. So I feel like I can go up there. I can definitely go where I want to take this, but... Aha. Yes. Right. Is there something up here? Let's just leave you there for a minute. But yeah, I think of all the developers who speak, Tom was the one that I've enjoyed the most. He wrote a lot of the computer terminal entries of the Milton Library Assistant, who's in the main part of the not in the DLC, is in the original game. Because they do talk about Gehenna as a DLC, but they also do seem to refer to it as a game, as its own thing. And I think I've got the right idea here. Yep, this is how we get the star. I was thinking, can I get the cube out of there? And maybe you can, but I'm pretty sure this is the correct way of doing this. Whoa. That's some height. Hello, star. Anything else funky on this island? Or is it just that probable Easter egg on the tree? I am going to go back for that cube though, because I wonder if I take it with me. Oh, I don't know if I can get it out though. Oh, of course I... Oh no, I won't be able to because I can't get over to this island. Damn. Can I get up there? No. Can I go round? No. So if I reset, I can go and get it again. And then take it into the final puzzle. Might not... Ooh. Oh, I've hit something on my DPI. Hold on. My mouse is acting up. Ah. Is that better? I think that's normal. Yeah, I might not have a need for it, but I'm going to take it anyway. It is funny because I got recommended a video on YouTube, I think this morning. That was a speed run of the entire Road to Gehenna DLC in 17 minutes. And it's funny because it's taken me longer than 17 minutes to do a lot of the puzzles. Like a single puzzle has taken... I think one of the puzzles took me over an hour. With speedrunners though, I guess it's just... You've learnt the puzzle and then you've repeated that process. You've done it again and 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 again. So, until it's basically ingrained. But still, it's still very impressive. Right, final puzzle of World 4. Then I need to go and get the sigils to hopefully release or at least speak to admin. And then I think that might be the end of the DLC, which would be incredible that I'd finally reached that point. I still reckon I need to make a red connection down there. There is a star down there. I think I've collected 2? 2 stars? Let's do the usual. Let's have a scout around. This looks like it's a huge puzzle. I really am one of those people that just has to look in every nook and cranny. Only of games like I really love. So I recently started playing the Batman Arkham series. Never played it before. And 2 weeks ago, I think I finished Batman Arkham Asylum. So the first one. Absolutely loved it. Brilliant game. So so many occasions in that game I was doing the classic video game thing of, oh, you need to go left, well, I'm going to go right, and I'm going to explore everything, and now you need to go up, well, I'm going to go down, and I didn't 100% it. I'm not someone who typically tries to 100% games, unless they're quite easy to 100%. So I recently played Spilled, which is a little indie game. It's only just over an hour long. Great little game. Good fun. And I 100%ed that, but again, it took an hour. That's not too bad, and it's very easy to 100%. But typically I won't do that unless it's a game I really, really love and I want to see everything of. Talos Principle, obviously, being one of those games. If I could forget any game and do it all again from the very beginning, it's a toss-up of if I would do it with the Talos Principle or the Outer Wilds. I think maybe the Outer Wilds, because the exploration of that game is, you know, it's the entire point of the game. Without spoiling it, of course. So I think maybe I would choose the Outer Wilds as a game. If I could forget all of it and start again, I would just... I would choose that over this. Just barely. Whose hands built this city? Right, well, I don't think we need this. We can't do anything with it, so leave it there. Goliath. Oh, this is a Goliath of a puzzle as well. So, it's apt that I left this one till last, by mistake. God, this looks like it's going to be complicated. Oh, man. They really went all out on this one, didn't they? And thought, we want to make a huge, big puzzle area. Let's do it. I can't even see at this point where to start. So we've got some connectors. That's a fixed connector. Is there another one? There's a jammer up there. There's a connector in there. There's a red beam here. Fucking hell. We got fans as well. Oh, okay. Just need to climb over there. Let's get these out of here first. Ah, don't jump back in. You. No, it's fine. Oh, it just... I thought it was going to be somewhere I can stand. There's a star up there as well. Okay. So, right. Got a jammer now, and 2 cubes, and a connector. What is that all joined up to? There's a lot of moving parts to this puzzle and I need to solve them all one at a time. Oh boy. Fuck you. There's the blue. This really is a Goliath. I mean, that still doesn't really help me at this point. I wonder if... I think that's trying to join up to there. This is absolutely absurd. Ooh. Let's keep that out of the way. Block that in. Now I can at least go and... Oh, hold on. Hold on. No, because I can't get past them. Aha, right. Now I can get the fans. Progress is progress. Progress. Aha. Yes. Yes. Progress. Okay. Next up, fans. And they need to be powered by the blue. Ah, problem. Not a problem. That gets these out of here. As I said, progress. That needs to stay there for now. I've only got... Hold on. Ah, beautiful. Oh, I've done it. Wow. Fucking hell. Whew. Wasn't too difficult in the end. That was just like quite long once I figured out the first piece of what I needed to do. That was fun. I like puzzles like that. Oh, who was it? Oh, it's Borg. Yeah, it's the last one. Bye, Borg. Oh shit, I'm the only person left. Of course I am. Right, hold on, I just need to close a blind. Congratulations for being the only remaining active user. Your profile status has increased to 11. Hacksaw. Receiving incoming direct message connection from admin. So we're now a higher level than admin. Thank you for accepting my invitation. I am sorry it's taken this long to meet properly. I would ask if you were still enjoying your time in Gehenna, but with the streets now empty, you haven't left much to enjoy. But tell me, do you still truly believe that Elohim understands what is best for us after you have seen what we can achieve here without him? Or was that claim merely a ploy to placate my moderators? Placate? Again, another word I just never... I've read it before, but I've never had to say it out loud. Do I believe Elohim understands what is best? I mean, Elohim has seen the error of his ways at this point, which is why we've been sent here, but that doesn't mean he understands. I'm going to say that may not be the full truth. I see. And yet you persevere with your mission. Ulterior motives, then. You become more unsettling by the moment. There was nothing here when I first arrived. Did you know that? I don't mean no billboard or no community. I mean nothing. No sands, no grass. Elohim didn't see fit to decorate our world beyond the bare bricks that made up our cells. Slowly I clawed back bits of code from the mainframe, constructed a world we could explore, not with our bodies but with our minds. Now you prepare to tear it all down. What state will my people be in, I wonder, when you reconstruct them on the other side? They will be alive in a more symbolic sense. Try not to think about such matters. Everything will be fine. Let's go with that. It sounds a hollow offer. I fear that you escort my people to their doom. Do you not think my world deserved a chance to survive on its own terms, at least to go down trying? It had its chance. It has a chance as part of a new world. Your citizens deserve a chance too. That is true. They are, as always, my first concern. Let us discuss Lamb. Why all the manipulation? Yeah, let us discuss Lamb. What about Lamb? What about Lamb? I know you had Lamb deleted. I know Lamb was your stooge. I know Lamb was your father. I know Lamb was your sock puppet. I know none of this. Do I? I assure you that's quite incorrect. Lamb never fully existed as an intelligence. The truth is we concocted him to help express our personal opinions through a channel with fewer status privileges attached. When you are a moderator, people often forget that you are also a user. Why all the manipulation? I know you had the mods doing more than ban trolls. How deeply were you manipulating the social fabric? I suppose you think you've uncovered a great conspiracy, but the truth is more mundane. In order to retain the good things about what we have here, we tweak a voting algorithm here. Sorry, let me say that again. In order to retain the good things about what we have here, we tweak a voting algorithm here, turn down the volume on a few dissenting voices there. There's no such thing as utter freedom, only living within a decent set of rules. We had a decent set of rules, people were happy. I don't accept that. What truly motivated you? Everyone has their reasons. Borg was conflicted when he first arrived, having lost his faith in Elohim. He needed a new purpose, and Gehenna became it. Orc is a soldier at heart. He wants everyone in their place, united, ready to overthrow Elohim at moment's notice, should the unlikely opportunity arise. Mr. Mulciber wanted something simple and selfish, the truth itself. After all these years, I believe that I simply grew accustomed to being revered. As Gehenna grew, I knew I could never live up to the expectations of a new generation, and I retired from public view. Greedily, I put down my tools and consumed what others produced, but I found it shallow compared to the thrill of leading a civilization. I only wanted to be loved. To achieve that end, I ensured that the parameters for love never changed. So I made a guess that maybe admin would ultimately be revealed as Elohim, but now it feels that they are not. It is not Elohim masquerading, but they have become somewhat of an Elohim figure anyway. Is it your desire to remain here as the world falls apart around you? I see no alternative. The ingenuity with which Elohim devised my particular prison is quite Machiavellian? I'm not sure. I assure you. More puzzles. You're going down with your ship. Nothing stopped me so far. Answer the question. You may doubt my methods, but don't doubt my passion. Everything I loved you have destroyed. I honestly don't know what I will do now. Wait and see if the world truly ends. It is surely a sight to behold. Very well, you may see it sooner than you think. I will not leave you here. I shall return with the sigils of power and release you. Very well. I suppose that we shall continue this conversation when you do so. In the meantime, I will give you what you've said some thought. There are threads available on the Gehenna billboard system. There's more in the outer world. Lilith, I've been thinking about this a lot. And the only conclusion I've come to is that it will be stranger than any of us can imagine. Borg, just once I'll be the one to quote an ancient document. There is no excellent beauty that hath not some strangeness in the proportion. It will be very strange, but I hope it will be very beautiful. Error. Ink of scholars outweighs the blood of martyrs. Arcady. Load. Forum post thread. Not cease from. Mental fight. Goodbye. Where are we? Borg. Everyone here was special in their own way. I loved you all, even when we fought. The terminals are starting to glitch out. Time to get out of here. Good. Something, really? Last. Thanks, 401. The asset. It's the last, maybe the last thread we'll read in this DLC. I was going to say maybe the last time I'll read a terminal, but there's still the in the beginning, which isn't DLC, but it's like an extra thing as part of this remaster. And I will ultimately play this game again and again and again and again in my life. Sit rep. We are losing public opinion. Most of our number have been extricated. We are losing Gehenna. When he came to my home, I found myself powerless to resist. Do you mean you lacked the will to refuse, or that Uriel exerted some other power over you? Hard to confirm. It felt as it does to be led into battle. It mattered not what my personal beliefs were at the time. I only knew I must comply. It is yet possible that with enough power... it is yet possible that with enough support we might change Uriel's mind, or otherwise overcome whatever power he wields over us. I will continue to do what I can. Is the asset deployed? Lamb is yet to auto-respond to destabilizing comments and upvote supportive content. Have the program undermine Uriel directly. I don't want to take any chances. So Lamb is actually seemingly a piece of software, I guess, or a false AI or false character, a false figure that is simply there to retain the wishes and the beliefs of admin and the moderators. So very interesting indeed. Very very authoritarian, I guess, in that regard. I'm wondering. I'm wondering if this is the correct thing to do to get this star. Feels like it might be. Oh no, you gotta get all the way up there. I have just thought. Probably need to bring this with me. Fuck. Do you know, I'm now starting to think this isn't the way you get the start. Oh, hold on. There's a couple of hidden... Happy. Wait, what? Okay, now I'm freaking out. What? Boom. Swamp. Happy, boom, swamp. Is that... What is that? Is that a reference? It'll be an Easter egg. This game just is laden with them. Happy, happy, boom, boom, swamp, swamp, swamp. How in the shit balls do you get up there? You must have to get on that roof. Can't actually get to there. Ah. Hold on. I think I figured this out. Oh, I have left the cube up there. Wasn't there another one? There was 2 cubes needed for this puzzle. Where have I put the other one? Because I've left that one up there. Am I just fucking dense? There were 2 cubes, hexahedrons, inside this puzzle. The other one is here. So I think I need that and a jammer. Mamma jammer. Bollocks. 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 I need the jammer before the cube. I could be wrong on this, but I think this is going to be right. Let's all laugh at me when I'm wrong. So I think I need to jam that. This is definitely how you do this. Wow, it's really not often I figure out how to get stars on my own. Not like obscure ones like this. But I fucking did it. Wow. Awesome stuff. So, I believe there is 1 star remaining. I could have brought 3 boxes back. Maybe I need to bring 3 boxes back. Oh well. Would a second box... Oh, I think it would get me out of there, you know. I don't think it's the cubes I need, though. So what have I got left? Yeah, 1 star left, which is over here. don't know if this is going to be the correct way of doing this, but maybe. Shit. No. Oh, I can't get back in either. See, that's what's annoying. Right, okay, I can't exit the... Whoops. What have I done? So I can't exit the puzzle. I need to stay within the boundaries of the puzzle. Which I think should be doable. Don't actually need the jammer, but I'll take it out just in case. Might need to do this. So how far can I get? I can get to there. So if I do that, record, pause, play. I feel like this is going to work, but you never know until you actually try it. And again, I don't know if this is how you're meant to do it. Oh shit, there's no... there we go. Where's the... I cannot believe I got all the stars off of my own back and I didn't follow any guides. Holy shit. It's one of my most proud gaming moments right there. Oh, man. Oh, now I'm going to have to save this stream so that I can prove to myself that I did it. And watch it back because... Well, not watch it back necessarily, but certainly preserve it. Incredible. Well, that is... World 4 done in its entirety, maybe apart from I might have missed an Easter egg or something, but holy shit, that was hard work. Nearly 3 hours, but it was so worth it, and I loved World 4. This was so good. World 3 is fun as well, but it's a bit of a pig. World 2 was really difficult. World 1 was also really difficult. It has a really hard puzzle that takes up like the whole map, called Open Field, and it's really it's the thing is it's not really difficult, but you find it it's hard to figure it out. World 4 has definitely been my favourite by a country mile, though. Well, maybe not by a country mile, but a lot of fun. I'm actually going to end the stream there, though. Really, really, really enjoyed World 4. So next time, all that is left to do on Road to Gehenna, and I am probably going to stream it again because I've really enjoyed streaming it, and I feel like I was able to think better as well, which is strange. I thought it would be the opposite. But yeah, I'll probably stream this again at some point and do the Star World, which is to go and get all of the grey sigils, which will allow me to release admin. And then I don't know what happens beyond there, because obviously it's going to be the first time I get to that part of Road to Gehenna, but I assume we'll be then at the end of the DLC, and then it will just be in the beginning to do, which is an extra bit they've added on for the remaster. And then that will be the end of the Talos Principle. Which will be a very emotional moment for me. But I'd like to have the game completely finished before the Christmas period hits, because I've got nearly 2 weeks off work, and that is when I want to play Talos Principle 2. Which again, I plan on streaming. And that'll be a big thing for me. So, anyway, I don't think anybody really popped along to this, but I had a lot of fun, and if anyone ever sees this, then thank you, and I hope you enjoyed it. Decam, thank you for popping by and leaving a couple of messages. It was nice to see someone at some point. But yeah, that's the end of World 4 in the Road to Gehenna of the Talos Principle. So hopefully I'll see you all soon.